way, because I think this is a clever play in some ways, but does it go backwards? Does it say that they're that desperate to get Train out of the pool that they'll take their chances elsewhere? We've theorized about teams at that 27-0 mark against Astralis, potentially having that problem, but we start out on overpass and we start out with Device getting aggressive with the USP. Makes contact, and he'll immediately fall back toward the site as a result.
Here we go then. It will be Navi getting some basic mid control here. You can see it's going to be major actually. Device falling back from middle there. Falling right back towards the bomb side, and Zipex is trying to get information towards Monster. There's one smoke, one Molotov available here for Navi as they start to rotate potentially back towards B. They've got connector control here, and the Molotov will be enough for the barrels. You smoke in front of the site, and then it's down to the pure fragging potential. Navi have got that in buckets and spades, but so is Glaive, and he's ready on short. Detected a few players on the other side.
Zipex still waiting for the chance to catch off anyone going toward the monster tunnel, but Simple's got the shot instead. The first kill of the finals goes to the man who's likely going to be at the hand of quite a few of those throughout this game. And it's Dupree to respond. Magisk still on the mound as well, watching to see if anyone will cross in. So far, no one will. And Magisk still just waiting around. Has to swing out to get aggressive. Bomb's already gone down. Very passive plan for Sandbags, but Magisk finds two toward the pillar. Device on rotation coming out in the flank has already found Zeus and Edward. If his plan was to hold short and peek the defuse, he's got a big problem ahead of him, but he finds two, and they're not on the defuse, which means now he actually can pull around back. Looks for the headshot of Magisk, and he won't land it. So close, yet so far, Magisk finds 3 kills.
Defuse will come in. It got a little bit scary for them there. They lost the first pick. The B site is open, but still, Astralis, the kings of retake, able to hit their headshots. Magisk, especially with pinpoint accuracy of the USP, holds them off for long enough for the rotations to come through, and he saw them so precise at that point. It's Astralis defending against Edward in a 4 versus 1. He got 2 of them with great shots there. It could have fallen apart, but Magisk calm in the end still closes it out. We get to the second round 4 spy here. Remember the extra cash injection now. You get the $1,900 with 800 on top of the plant. They get a couple of AKs here. You have to distribute the wealth out, drop those AKs. It will leave players like Zeus without armor, but it's worth it. You've got, to be fair, Edward with the AK, like Electronic with that second AK, but Simple more importantly. We'll see if Edward can open things up. Certainly can. He'll get the first. And now, will there be a response from Astralis here? They have one more player waiting towards long.
Solid shot from Edward yet again. We saw in the pistol how close he was, despite that they got the defuse. Found the kill on him from Magisk. Dupree in the corner, very far in the corner. Not often you get someone pushed out quite that far on an angle, and it works to find 2. Simple does get the response, and we fall to 3 aside. MP9 Scouts M4 versus AK UMP Deagle. You could argue the range is fairly level between those, given the Deagle can certainly be a problem, but Zeus is even more upgrade onto the AK. It's that gun that has the accuracy, and the man to wield it Device more than capable of hitting the headshot, takes Flamey down.
Well then, Astralis take the advantage once more. Simple there with the smoke. They've both got AK-47, and Zeus with no armor makes it incredibly difficult. He spots one behind the APC, trying to flash in his teammate. Didn't actually deploy, but the smoke is down, but there is a gap. Zeus will try and exploit that, make his way towards the side. They still need to try and get this bomb down, but first the kill has to come through. Zeus battling tooth and nail a Simple plant. He's done a good job, and now they've got a post-plant situation.
Simple pushing aggressively. Finds Device on the back stairs. Brings it down immediately to a 2-on-2, and now the favor with them because no kits. A single smoke for Zipex, but he's on the MP9, and they've got 2 AKs to confront. Zeus is low enough HP that MP9, even at range from the back stairs, can still take him down very quickly. Zeus times his slide out to perfection. 1-on-1 with Zipex. Mechanics favoring, but Simple's got the aim. Well,
there we have it. Navi, a team known to force spy if they have the opportunity. That certainly was one. A couple of AKs. They get the first pick. It's Dupree to answer back, though. That nice long position. It comes down to a 3-on-2 in Astralis' favor. You'd think they're going to close that one out, but I have to say, Zeus, he didn't find kills on the defense of the plant, but he showed so much presence. He allowed someone to get in position so he could make plays like this, do what he does best, and start hitting headshots. Zipex didn't stand a chance there. We go 1-1, and is there a force fire in response? There is. 4 players fully invested. Device will save $1,000, and now it's up to the AKs and indeed the Galil and UMPs to hold off an Astralis defense here. But we know they're incredibly versatile with these CZs. They can treat these like gun rounds, especially with the few smokes they have.
Electronic will back off. One to get an 8 in. He will eventually find an angle he seems to like more. Actually, in the front side of the barrel, so wouldn't have done anything to anyone that was standing there. They'll slow the pace considerably. Astralis left with little. Certainly no defensive utility that's gonna be used on both sites. They've only got Dupree with the smoke, who's being aggressive. He'll use that now to hold off mid after finding the open pick, potentially try and get a gun from that, but Flamey through the smoke before that bloomed.
Nice work from Flamey. Gets in front of the smoke before it becomes an issue. Device, well, Dupree, I should say, didn't see it coming. And now Edward using that rifle. Remember, he is alone here, but luckily no CT presence whatsoever, really. That's all towards there. We've got one player rotating in. It will be Device. He has no armor, but he has got the Desert Eagle. Is it going to be enough? I would suggest no. He's going to take an absolutely stunning shot here to find anything at all as they encroach in his position. He holds on towards A, presence from middle, and indeed towards long. There's the armor being a factor. He gets tagged up to 19 HP, and that should be the round. I don't see a world as if they can really hold them off here. Simple confirms it. Mages, we know he's good with the Deagle, but not quite good enough here. Nice clean round from Navi. They fend off the force spy. Should be full eco next.
And a good start. They did get swept 16-2. They got swept under the rug by MIBR in the final round. We were actually one round away from Cloud9 side of not even having them in this final. It would have been Cloud9 on a tie with Astralis playing against them right now. That's how close it was to decide the final spot. With that said, at 16-2, they had a little bit more time off. Sure, they were sitting there tensely waiting to see if they were even going to make it here, but they were resting.
Sure.
So does that change anything? Because right now shots are certainly on. They've already accomplished as many rounds as they did against the American core of MIBR.
We did speculate earlier what we thought would be the most compelling grand final, whether Astralis locked in. We did say it'd be Navi. Headshots coming through here, full ecos. They can work out. That ding towards Simple removes them from the equation somewhat.
I think that was actually a double dink at that point in time as well, because he goes down to 16, in fact 2 HP at this point from that range. Passionate Portuguese crowd in the background. And now Caster's getting a little bit hyped up. To hear all of the sound effects, but we've got Molotov to ramp. That's going to give Zeus a bit more access to the site. Certainly forces the hand of Xyp9x. He's got to back down in toward the pit, but window covered off. Magisk finds the shot at range, does further damage onto Zeus. He's on 46. So far, so good in terms of damage from Astralis, but 54 seconds left. Now the AKs come to play. Electronic able to slide in, makes contact, but he's dinked as well. 2 and 7. This is a full eco from Astralis. And although there's 5 alive, it becomes a bit of a problem if they're not careful here, because Astralis can start to get the lineups.
See if that happens here. It looks to be a Navi round, as Simple and Zeus will confirm that indeed. Just Dupree who holds on, and you are completely right. That was a full eco. No investment whatsoever. They forced in the previous round. And it's going to be 3-1 Navi and Astralis. Yes, they can buy next round, but it still will be weak. But remember, Device did keep that extra $1,000 when his teammates went for the full all-in purchase. So he should be able to get the orb still. It just won't be a complete buy. If you've got a UMP or a Galil, like Edward and Simple do, you might be quite happy to keep those. There's a very high likelihood not all 5 players will have helmets here, if any of them. So there we go. Will Astralis go for an aggressive play? We've talked about Device and his assertiveness and dynamic rounds every single game we cast of him, but now more than ever, he probably needs to present one of those. They won't have a kit here. You can see the lack of utility, not a single incendiary purchased, and him being glass cannon, sure, he can't be super aggressive, he can't push off short, but he can go for an initial pick perhaps. We'll see what he wants to do here. As he waits in the corner, looking for anyone crossing over towards Party right now. Dupree, with the initial bit of utility, will fall back. And they're not going to go for that initial play, just holding up to see if Navi are aggressive here.
Boost on top of the slide as well. That gives a bit more vision toward the front side of bathrooms, but they'll back off of that. We're right about the head armor. Glass cannon as well for Device. So all in from Astralis with Inferno, excuse me, with Cash money coming up next. Overpass is almost a must-win for Astralis just to guarantee them to have a 3-map series. If they fall on this and then suddenly they realize, oh wait, Navi's actually practiced Cash and get caught off, we could have a 2-game series for Navi.
That was my rationale coming in. So we have to remember that's pure speculation. That could be them just saying, you know what, they might not expect. We'll just run around as a group.
Two evils, perhaps.
Exactly. They might not have played it at all and just don't want to play Nuke, be demoralized by having another loss against Astralis in that map. But here we go. The commitment, it's a scrappy one towards B, but Xyp9x, he'll try the line first. Great shot from Electronic. As that's the B bomb site cracked wide open at this point. 3 players remaining, and remember, no kits here, Matt. Unless Glaive can find 2 very quick kills right now, there's no chance of this retake. It might not even be worth considering.
Double tap toward the backside of the entrance at Monster, but gotta be careful as well if they push through the smoke. Edward's still there. Glaive, he's pretty much completely antithesis side of it as he wants to try and jump across. He will get up above, drops down. Edwards falling back toward the sandbags. That's a kill. Dupree with 19 tries to get away without being sprayed. Device will hold on to the AWP as well. It's going to go 4-1. Again, no money for Astralis. Fantastic start on the T side for Navi.
That's the sort of round you want to present when you know the money's weak on the CT side. You can go for these little executions and these 5-man gambits towards the bomb site because they don't necessarily have a head armor like we talked about when you've got a UMP and Khalil, or the incendiary. That's more important. If you go up in a 5-man execution, you can go in at the same time. Sure, some smokes might be down, but they're not force fills like the incendiaries are. So that's a really nice call. Calculated from Navi, hitting the great shots as well as what we want to see from Electronic as he completely dismantles the defense. It is going to be 4-1, but a Device AWP is saved, along with a Dupree rifle. We saw it on Inferno in the previous game. If Device or Dupree, he had an AK and 4 USPs, they still won the round. So this is not a foregone conclusion by any stretch of the imagination, and that's why a tactical timeout will be called right now. Both teams happy to discuss their options at this point. If you're Navi, do you take a gamble, go for a rush B? It's unlikely the Device AWP is there. Or do you go for a default and risk him picking you off one by one? What do you want to play here? That's why it's worth just talking about it right now. This is the grand final. Navi are the defending champions. They can't afford to make any mistakes against Astralis. Give them an inch and they will take a mile every single time. It's going to be interesting to see what Device will bring to the table here at the beginning of this round. He's got a great spawn as well. We can see on our screens right now. He's right at the front of the pack. Let's see if we can follow him and see what he's up to. Does he want to try and get that first kill or want to hold back and be a little bit more tentative like we saw before?
Aggressive from Dupree and Device. Started off, they'll get him pushed out toward the bench position, jumping for information rather than trying to hold an angle for the shot. Once the number it's crossed, Edward on top of the slide as well, looking the other direction, but the tree prohibits each from seeing the other. And Device will back away, rightly so, without any information. Brings Dupree back his direction as well because he started to rotate off, much like Banana Natu said it last week at Pro League. Much like Banana, you can hold long and then actually get an early rotation to support your B side. That's all changed. Bajisk even comes back as well to play on the A site. Now rotate one to window, leave Xyp9x alone, and Navi slowly but surely is actually heading toward that A position. So Device, bathrooms with an AWP, he's going to rely on information from Dupree.
1 minute mark comes in. Barely any map control from Navi so far. They're just about getting towards long here, but Device in a perfect position to bathrooms. Dupree, remember, he's got that rifle as well. They focused all the firepower here towards A, and it might not last too long as Edward will find the first.
Yeah, he didn't see him. He didn't know he was against the wall, so he didn't have time to react. Now, Device has problems, but he's got Glaive to protect one side. He realizes it, looks back to long. Shadow shows, remember, towards bathroom as Device has to be so silent and so sure of his shot on the AWP. He's got a bit of aggro pulled away, but Simple knows what that means. He's not going to overcommit to the shot all the way back toward the flowers because he's well aware the AWP is still in the bathrooms. Instead, plays an angle that isolates, baits the shot from Device, and he knows exactly what he's doing. 5-1 Navi.
That is unbelievable. Simple had to get the team on his back at that point. They were dropping like flies and he could see it. He felt the round crumbling. He had to dig so deep for that one. It looked like Device and his teammates had locked him in. The pincer maneuver was absolutely spot on. But look at this play. Jumping around the corner, baits out the shot. The preemptive spray towards the bathroom. It's absolutely everything. And he's not even happy about it, Matt. He's just like, you guys shouldn't be dying. I'll have to do it, but let's not make that mistake again.
So well played. He read that perfectly. He knew exactly what they wanted to get from the AWP, and he would not allow it at all. Guns back again this time for Astralis. Device once more has the op. And this time with some armor to go along with it as opposed to the last gun round that was glass cannon. Head armor as well for Glaive, Xyp9x, Bajisk. That's something they've not had, but it matters less this time given that they're against all AKs and one Krieg for Zeus. Electronic revealing that he's in the short tunnel. Might catch himself off as he runs back toward Bajisk. I'm not sure Bajisk was quite so ready for him to be there.
Great shot all the same. He gets the opening pick and will fall back safely. 19 HP, you can see Zeus trying to convert that damage by spamming in vain at this point towards the wooden boards. He's got the Krieg in hand. Remember, we're seeing a lot of these in-game leaders pick up the scoped weapons. It's a bit of a trend here. We want to kind of get a bit more information on that, see if it is a real improvement. But either way, it's Device now. He will be defending towards the A site. Sort of solo. He has got Dupree right down there on long as well. Can't really back him up in this particular scenario, but he might not need the help. Great shot to open things up.
Tries again to go to the front side of the bathrooms as well, firing through the double boxes. 2 down. That's just 1. Simple finds Bajisk. Device is low enough as well, but he's also on the AWP, which is a factor. Smokes going in as they are. They could boost above that toward the dumpster. Touchdown on Simple. He had nowhere to go in Device. There you go. He catches actually the nade from the man he previously killed. Flamey gets him from the grave, but it's all onto Zeus, and I think he's aware that Dupree's in the corner. Dupree likewise is aware that he's at home. They're both fully blind, and they're both out of ammo. Awkward exchange, but it won't matter. With 10 seconds left, the round is over. Zeus just has to try and survive.
He's going down after the timer, boys. They know it. That's why he's actually challenging now, because he wants to die. It sounds weird. Don't kill him yet. Now you kill him. Perfect. That's what he wanted to do.
Zeus doesn't go back to the corner at that point.
I don't know. But that's exactly what Astralis want to do. That might not seem like a huge detail, but that's massive. It means Zeus gets no cash going forward, but at the same time, they had a nice reservoir, so not a massive deal.
Yeah, massive reservoir, in fact, if you want to look at Flamey on 10K, 11K for Simple. They've built up a huge surplus, a massive lead at 5-2. Astralis as well, this would be a potential reset. They've only won the pistol, and then we're immediately beat by the force buy.
There it is, lovely grenade from Glaive. Solid A defense. It was Device holding more defensive lines. You can see as the game continues and the round develops, he took damage after finding the opening pick. He has to go very defensive at that point and play off his teammates, allows him to be baited in. He altered the CT steps and starts hitting the shots, timing it well and using the communication to make sure he's in the right place at the right time. He's got the B spawn this time. We talk about the way he can approach every single round in a different manner. He can be boosted towards B. He can challenge Monster. He can go in that connector. You can never predict when Device will be. And this is where the timeout comes in now. Navi need to work out what their play is going to be. How can they avoid the power of Device? He was weak last week in the grand final, but you could never discount him. Always going to be a threat. And we'll see him head towards that B bomb site. Does he want to go for the first pick or just hold a defensive line towards Monster? And it's going to be holding heaven for now, at least. He's looking for that four-man stack.
He's looking toward it. He knows the timing. I mean, there's no harm in looking that direction. They're not going to be in the B site that quickly. So in the off chance they go for the boost, he actually gets a free kill. It's kind of clever, in a way.
Well, he just took a timeout, so why not?
Xipix has been beat twice now in that position on the left side of the grave, and he falls to Electronic this time, trying to spray in first. More pressure onto the disc. You can see his anticipation as he tries to move back over. Smokes down, front side of Monster, allows him to enter further, so he actually wants to play all the way back toward the grill. Dupree, door open, that's a gift. Zeus, I think, was completely unaware that that hole existed.
Yeah, there's not really much he can do about that unless he has that information. You assume it's fine. But it will still be a 4-on-4. Not for long, though. Flamey, he'll be offered up a kill for free.
I was going to say, you give and take, get what you give. He walks down and has no idea Flamey is likewise in a position to capitalize. So Astralis, once again, find themselves a man down, 47 seconds, and map control is all to the taking of Navi at this point in time, even with Edward pushing it toward long. Ooh, I think Device had that spot in there. Molotov down a bit early because he wants to focus his attention toward the bathrooms, but identifying the fact that the op's on A, not even going to challenge it. Back over toward B. However, op on A, 2 on B. Crossfire set, but just has to be perfect on Monster. Glaive, oh, that's a clever nade. Bounce it right over the ledge. They know he's likely waiting just beyond vision, staying away for the Molotov. Majisk, he's got one, he goes down. Device is found on rotation immediately, so it's Glaive inside of the site they have to worry about. He's inside of the smoke. Shots will rain out and give his position away. And allows Electronic to find his 6th, and again, that's going to be a reset.
A harsh one at that. Really nice calls here from Navi. I definitely criticized them last week, saying that their theory side of their game, their mid-round calls look weak, but that was actually spot on. They managed to get into an equal playing field and trade out some frags towards Connector, recognize the fact with 3 players surviving, they're going to be weak somewhere. It was actually 2 players they ran into towards B. It got very awkward in this scenario, but Electronic's feeling it right now. 3 kills for him in the round, and Glaive, sneaky play in the smoke, but it doesn't yield a round victory. We're going to see a full eco here from Astralis. Some deagles. Actually, to be fair, I guess it's the partial buy, you can call it, with a bit of Kevlar. There's no grenades. So, should be a Navi round. We'll see if it transpires in that fashion. Remember, the defending champions are going to be the first team ever to get back-to-back. Or 2 trebles.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what's on the line here. SK, Astralis, and Navi have won the 3 previous Blast Pro Series events in Copenhagen, Istanbul, and then Copenhagen again this year. This would be, the winner of this would become the first double Blast champion. It's kind of like being a double-barreled shotgun.
It's exactly like that.
That's not, don't appease it. Electronics sneaking in, doing straight contact toward the window position. Zeus still trying to fire off. Spotted one, but won't be able to get a shot. Perhaps intimidation enough to keep him at bay. Never mind that we've got that boost, but still out toward water position, toward construction. Not been spotted. He is surprise for them. Glaive gets found, Electronic, good shot, catches him jumping back down. Bomb will be planted now, so Simple at this point knows he's lurking for free kills. He'll get Device. It puts us at a point where we can also start to look at that kill distribution as Edward finds just there's the one for Zipex. They find something at least on the Deagle, but he'll go down. Dupree, his Deagle always finds something, and it's going to be Simple that he gets. 10 kills for Simple leads the way. Edward sits on 8. He's been talked about recently as someone who needs to step up again if Navi want to find a way forward.
Yes.
In the results, Dupree leads the way. As I say it, he's actually going to make this very expensive for Navi. He leads the way for Astralis by getting 9 kills now with those two on top.
7-2. Remember, this is the T side for Navi as well. Certainly considered to be a CT map at this point, and the money still isn't fantastic. They invested with Deagle armor there, Matt, and they've got average maybe 3.5K per player. Dupree, even less than that. He's just purchased a Deagle. They're taking another eco here at this point. This is going to give potentially 8-2 to Navi. I say that with bated breath because I know Astralis can always do something at these sort of rounds, but statistically speaking, Navi should pick this one up no problem. And we'll see a 4-man stack towards the B bomb site here from the Danes. Will this be anything? I'm not so sure. They're flashing over towards Monster right now. Doesn't do much for them because Electronic playing so passively. He confirms they're on eco of that sort of push, and we're just holding a very defensive angle now.
Very defensive, so we're behind the fence, even in case anyone wants to walk up the stairs. Does get an angle up and just further kill, as we saw on Dupree by way of Flamey. Zipex down, Device. Thought he might find a double headshot as Electronic didn't quite have the angle, but slides out nonetheless to get the kill on the AK. Glaive now left with a CZ. And we'll see if he can find the fourth one. So Flamey closes out the round. We go 8-2, and that's pretty, I have to say, remarkable at this point in time. You really have to imagine Astralis. They're going to call the timeout, but they're desperate at this point to get rounds on the board.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit bleak for them. Remember, yes, it is cash next. We need to discuss that a little bit more. Sure, it's cash, but Navi had a 1-week boot camp before Pro League. We didn't see them float cash there at all. Is there any chance that they've gone for a liquid play here? The surprise pick, they've worked on it, they've got something. It's considered a weak map for Astralis. There are some guys on Twitter discussing the idea of Inferno was the safer pick. Cash is an unknown quantity. You don't have information. You don't have any data on them. Why risk it? Why allow it to happen? If it overpass does go wrong for you and you go in feeling like you're a little bit lost, you don't know what you're up against, that could be a massive downfall here. Now, yes, we're talking a little bit ahead of time, but Navi look on course to take this map right now if they keep this up. This timeout is going to be everything. What's Astralis going to do with it? Once again, no kits. Device, 6 kills to his name. No one really running away in the fragging on the Astralis side. And we'll go towards the B bomb side with the sniper once again. Is he going to go for the aggressive pick towards Monster? Doesn't look like it. Waiting for a B contact play by the looks of things.
We're the first to arrive at the position at Monster. Twice with a closer angle this time on the AWP. Down inside of the site by Peller, trying to play on the back of Majisk, who's already covering off short form. And then on top of that, they've got Glaive. It's a bit of a sequence. Everyone's position based on the other. Simple's gonna get Device though, waiting with an off outside Monster.
Yeah, that's a big pick.
This is clever. This is a great overpass so far from Navi. This is Navi's choice, remember that. It's not like we have Astralis being strangers on this map, but we talk about it. We see them against Liquid on this all the time. We talk about the fact that they're capable of winning it as well. And it's the unknown entity. I mean, we've seen them now in 2 consecutive weeks be tricked a little bit by a veto, perhaps.
5 versus 4. Remember, no kits here, but they still have incendiaries and smoke on the CT side. This is not done just yet. Mages picks up the orb. He is actually very handy of the weapon. He knows he needs to find a frag here, holding towards shore, but they're going nowhere near that side of the map. It's going to be an A execution here. 40 seconds remaining as these smokes being lined up as CT steps, and indeed the bank, they'll be deployed momentarily. That smoke towards the end of long doesn't actually do a whole lot. That gap allows the teams to make their way through, but the incendiary will slow them down. They need frags here. They can't sit back in defensive position, and Dupree knows it. Has to find kill as he lines one up, takes one down, but an instant trade comes in. Zeus will take a Zipex, and the smokes are spot on here. Dupree stifled on the bomb side, but Majisk does find one back, and there it is, the spray down from Glaive. It denies absolutely everything, and 3 players survive. What looked like a very difficult scenario for them actually works out tremendously well in the end. They were battling behind the smoke still, and Majisk on that secondary orb seems like he's still got a few more shots left in him.
It works. It pays off. The double op setup gets Astralis round number 3. They've got it again. They're going to try and hold on to this one because, again, they've been reset at every possible chance. I say possible chance. Pistol's not really a reset, but they lost the ensuing force buy, and then they were reset on round 7 and 8. 3 rounds this time after their last. Consistent here. Need to build up some cash. Edward swinging back around with Navi already accumulating a win on the half and on a CT-sided map. Give or take.
Double orb set up for the first time.
So Glaive waiting for it, wants to make sure that they can see to work construction. No jump, and Sandbags form a Jisk. He actually just goes for the straight wall bang toward the door instead. Electronic, aware of that, tries to find his own opening. We see this bait position in bathroom before. dupreeh has to commit to staying there. If he steps out too soon, if the op's not taking the aggro, he actually gives himself up, so he's got to be very careful. Gun barrel shows as well, so timing is everything.
This is the first opportunity Astralis have had to break the bank of Navi. If they get reset again here, I'm not sure there's much left in the tank for the rest of this half. This round is absolutely massive. Astralis for the first time, like we said, double orbs. Glaive normally brings it out when things get a bit desperate for them.
And that flash to clear the connector, it's confirmation for Device that he can just stare in this direction. He does not have to worry about the door. dupreeh has that covered instead. There's not an angle by which it overlaps and they can see, but a flash off. dupreeh has to step out momentarily to try and keep the angle against Electronic. He'll get one. Backs into the wall and out comes Device once more. He's nailed it as well. It's a perfect setup. It's by design and it is to perfection as they get Zeus walking in front. Edward realizes the problems and they'll back away from long immediately. Bomb is down in the front of bathrooms. And you're right, this is a reset potential, so how much is at stake for Astralis? And how much can they risk on the Navi side? dupreeh's going to give himself up to Simple.
10 seconds remaining. That confirms the round for Astralis, and it looks like they'll only drop one player as well. That is very good news. They need to keep decent numbers up here to really get themselves back in this game. Simple is terrifying in the bathrooms, but Device, he isn't scared whatsoever. He'll take him down right at the end there, and that's a huge pickup. They can't afford to reinvest their AWP. They can probably scrape together somewhat of a buy of the AK. Without the Simple orb, it's a lot less scary at this point. So tactical timeout potentially coming in here. We'll see. They are discussing their options. You can see tension starting to get a little bit higher there in the Navi camp.
And that whole round really weighed on dupreeh's kill. The fact that he's able to step out and get Electronic so Device knows he can get back to that angle, and then suddenly dupreeh goes back to where he was originally watching. If he goes down there, this kill, if that goes the other way, Device can't repeat that with the same level of confidence to know for sure that he's got the angle. And that opens up the front door, which means Device gets caught potentially in transition back to the site, even if he wins the first pick.
It's so clever. You see dupreeh gets that first kill. All of a sudden, he just watches the left entrance at that point. Device waits for the trade, and if they nail all their shots, it's actual poetry in Counter-Strike. It looks so good and funnels them out of the bomb site. Nothing can be done. It's 8-4. Astralis are very used to this position by now. They enjoy a comeback, it seems. Even in grand finals, they always find themselves on the back foot. They're slowly getting back into it now. Like we said, it's a tactical timeout for Navi as they compose themselves and work out what they can afford to purchase here. It's only Simple that hasn't spent any money. He goes for Deagle, armor, and the grenades. They have fully invested into round number 13, trying to steal back the momentum here. Zeus gets a last-minute UMP, and Device going for that first pick. We haven't seen any of these opening kills be successful just yet. Flashbang to the face, but he avoids it. And now, will he find anything at the start? Detects movement towards our playground. All that boost, we've seen it a few times. Doesn't get them the kill.
Smoke down at Monster. Xyp9x will push up. M4 still to work with. dupreeh, meanwhile, will get at the bottom of the stairs just to make sure no one's going to wrap back around toward the bathrooms. That gives confidence naturally to Device once again on the AWP. So those two working in tandem. Oh, Glaive. Spotted but couldn't land. Backside showing as well. I think he just saw a texture. Didn't take the time to ascertain that it was the back and went for the fastest shot he possibly could.
Yep, that really was a bit of a sitter by that standard, but still, Device, he's hitting absolutely everything still. Takes down Simple, and that's a key scout to find.
Oh, Aaron didn't actually tag Flamey, but not aware that he could see him before that as the smoke was still in position. Electronic contact on B. Knows Glaive's also behind the barrels and wants to try and flush him out as well, and he's going to do exactly that. Double headshot on entry. Now can hold off as he jumps up toward the window. Electronic is absolutely static electricity at this point in time. And he's certainly making Astralis seem static. They're not doing anything to try and distill him from the site. They walk in once again, but the bomb is over toward long. So there's no access onto B. The fact that it's a 4-on-2 nonetheless opens up options. The problem being there's 19 seconds. And Device thinking maybe he's saving, suddenly stays on A and realizes they're actually heading toward him.
That incendiary is actually perfect. That's going to buy them enough time to actually get towards the site here. It was looking a little bit terrifying, but dupreeh continues to apply the pressure once again. They're not watching the flanks. It goes down to a 2-on-2.
Bomb barely got planted. Flamey went down the second it touched the ground. They're not watching the flanks, and you're right. The fact that they didn't have the bomb near enough to the site, all of Electronic's work comes undone. Edward and Zeus have to find dupreeh. They know he's entering from the bathrooms, but he's already checked the side. All the 180, nearly gets away.
Oh my goodness, you gotta respect it. You can see Navi barely celebrating that one. They knew how close dupreeh was to picking it up. Wasn't a clean round, and once again, it's that flank from Connector. They don't seem to be aware of it when they make their full commitment towards the A site. They've got to wake up and see that possibility. Mages had them before, and this time it was dupreeh. Electronic caught in transition, and you're right, that bomb gets planted with what, a millisecond to go? If that bomb gets denied, it's round over. They've got to wake up on those sort of plays, but still, they get it on the board, take the momentum back, and you can see it tilting dupreeh. They've got FAMASes, CZs, and an AWP to operate with in round number 14. Going for the initial pick once again, nothing found. And this is still an exciting one because Navi, they won't have anything left either if they give this round up. Both teams financially ruined as they reposition towards long. They're going to boost Device up. He doesn't want to fully commit to the flower bed. He just wants a tight angle like this to find the first kill and get the hell out of there.
Time on the boost, but it does open up bathrooms this time with both players committing toward long. So it'll be one and then likely passive. There's a chance they could immediately re-peek on this. dupreeh has a smoke. That'll help get back, but no flash. So they couldn't guarantee a re-peek. Device just barely saw Flamey in the bottom side of that scope.
Well, that's what they wanted. Difficult round for them with a lack of firepower. Device had to make a play. That certainly counts. Takes down Flamey. They've successfully got back towards the site. They won't recover the AK, but they're not worried about that. They want to maintain that man advantage right now as the timer ticks down. We hit 40 seconds here.
So much more gifted this time to Navi. Can certainly work these bathrooms and not have to get slowed down, hindered on the way to the site, but still just 30 seconds to go. Device angle between the brick. He's actually going to change that unit to his advantage, but he oversteps. That's when Simple peaks. It works out very fortunately for Navi. dupreeh trying to get lost inside of the smoke. He's just going to get knocked out of the round. That's two given up. Does nothing to try and watch out for the stairs. His teammate's only arriving now. Again, though, it's the flank. Electronic, he gets taken down. They don't even check it. Simple's going to have to watch it. Gets the wall bang right, but Magisk is still alive, and they can trade off of this. Can they? Oh my goodness! He might be simple, but he's not stupid. He comes out once more to find Zipix, and it's Glaive all alone, all very, very alone. 10-4 Navi.
They're just welcoming that flank at this point. You know what? You can get a couple of kills for free. We'll still deal with you. We've got the world's best here ready to go with the AWP. Pulls out the deagle, gets the second frag as well. And he was the one that opened things up. He took down the AWP Device, who was distracted at that 1 second by Zeus, who was encroaching on the bomb site. Edward did a good job to clear out that smoke. Can't see him, but it still works. The wall bang comes in, and then the Desert Eagle, Zipex, didn't know what hit him. My God, you can see Electronic a little bit frustrated the moment he went down, but still they pick it up. It's going to be 10-4 here, hunting for the final round. It's CZs and a scout as Glaive will push towards shore here. He's going to open that door, and he does not want to go any further than that. He's got one very angry T on the other side. And we'll see if Flamey can find the shot. Spots him, does minimal damage, and Glaive will fall back.
Just to note something of usual high importance for CT sides and usually indicative of a poor CT side. It doesn't matter that dupreeh leads the way with 16. The fact that Zipix is on 4 kills only says enough, because he's your CT anchor.
Yep.
He's playing the most important positions, and his efficiency is everything. If he's not getting kills on B, that tells me straight away B's not going well.
Or he's having to retake so much that he's not really part of the round whatsoever.
Exactly, they could just render him useless in that regard as well. Electronic already sticks up towards the cubby. Nearly didn't get the spray. Device goes down though, and we're looking potentially at 11-4 for Navi in the first half. It's pretty shocking stuff. Again, it's
Yeah.
The devil you know versus the devil you don't when we go on to the next map as well.
That's why I wanted to use that example. I'm going to talk over this. I think that this is the kill, maybe not right, dupreeh. If you think back to that grand final last week, no one expected Train from Liquid, and it surprised Astralis. They looked rattled because they didn't prepare for that particular map. Now, I'm going to suggest they didn't prepare for Cash whatsoever. They have not got time to look back on anything. This could be a really exciting second map if Navi can close this game out. They're making a convincing case to do so. Clinical precision there from the two stars of the end. Simple and Flamey getting it done with the AK-47. They'll take the last 3 rounds. Simple finishes the half of 17. Electronic with 15. Those are the 2 names you want at the very top. Finally, Navi are looking like a world-class team here at this event.
Yeah, this is solid. This is really exciting for them. Certainly the way they want to end the year in 2018. Astralis has won absolutely everything. Navi, a win right now for them. We saw Liquid win in Malta. We saw Liquid actually beat them and get to the finals at Pro League last week. They want to make a case to be number 2 in the world and really send a message before the major. This is how you do it. I will say the conviction with which the selection was made by Zonic to say Cash. He did say Nuke originally. I think he even thought it was still in. But he did say Cash once he realized, okay, that's my options. He was pretty confident in it, but perhaps, again, that's relying on the fact that Navi doesn't play it.
I would prefer to have Glaive with me there and just confer.
True. Yep, absolutely.
Just because that's so much pressure on him. If this does go wrong, he's going to feel so much responsibility there. Anyway, let's get into this pistol. It's going to be a couple of smokes available here for Astralis. They've got fast, long, and mid control here. Electronic has been stunning with this USP so far in the tournament. We'll see if he can nail the first headshot here. Spots one. Realizes is out of contention now. We'll have to fall back and reposition. The smoke's deployed. This is a full commitment coming in from Astralis.
Flamey has absolutely no vision, but he takes a few shots through the smoke just in case. They can actually go up on top of the bomb boxes at this point, and they will. Just to get the vision. He can control the situation. He can get the read, the information, and they can potentially plant the bomb, but it's all gone wrong. Flamey, Electronic, and Edward, they've all got kills. Just by playing on the truck, Edward's going to do everything, and now he's got the 12th round. Everything looks so good for Astralis. The one position that can stifle them does.
I can't believe it. They didn't capitalize upon those smokes. No kills were found. No bomb was planted. What's going on here? It was so good. They got the long control. The mid area was all theirs. They got the smokes down. The flashes were in, but no kills found. It's crazy to think they didn't even get a plant out of that situation. They're going to have to take a full eco here, Matt, and that's guaranteeing 13-4 on the CT side of Overpass here. Yes, Astralis can buy AK's next round, but you've got a wild card round next. That's when they're going to have the SMGs. They're going to be running at you at all facets, just like this. Simple. Okay, well, shooting the ceiling as well, I guess. And he's looking for his second kill here. He just wants to get it over with. He knows he's won this round.
You got to admire the man. Fires it a few times and just sprays to the roof because why not? Look at the sleep. Maybe that's what it was. It was the bat signal in the sky. Yeah. Everyone get here now. Swarm the underpass position, 13-4.
Yeah.
And they were almost not in this final. Cloud9 was almost here.
Glaive 6 kills, Zipex 4. Magus, one of the big names of the squad this year, 8. It's the first map of a best of 3, and it is Navi's pick. We're not going to get too excited just yet, but this is pretty monumental at this point. I don't think anyone expected a 13-4 scoreline coming in, but Astralis with guns in their hand now. But remember, like I said, the bonus round, it suggests something a little bit crazy will happen. You'll see SMGs running around, trying to find a kill here or there. Up and down the map, we'll see whether that comes into play. Edwards certainly investigating towards short. Decent grenade does considerable damage towards dupreeh there. And at this point, it does subside. Not as up and about as I thought, as dupreeh can't convert the frag.
Man, oh man, he's getting picked apart by nades. That one did surprisingly less damage than I would have thought. It's a ramp, not a staircase. So I would have thought some of the radius might have collected, but he sits with 50 HP nonetheless. And AK-47, dupreeh, oftentimes second man into Magisk. Significant. Speaking of Magisk, he'll go back over with Glaive and Device toward A. A's actually wide open as well, by the way.
Yep.
Rotation based on the push through the short tunnel. Tronic gets dupreeh. Famas to find it. But again, that's over on B, and they've realized there's not a lot of activity here. That single kill, Flamey repeaks water. There's no one there. Astralis needed to go. Flash comes out just to slow them enough. Electronic jumping through. He's going to get tagged up. Goes to the truck. That allows Magisk to collect. Smoke down on the stairs this time should amount to a very least a bomb plant, and it will.
There we go. Zipex watches the flank. You can see he knows what's up towards that position. That's how you should be patrolling it. It will be an Astralis round, their first of the half. But remember, as I mentioned, this is the round where Navi, they take a bit of a gamble. They come in and keep their SMGs. It's not technically a full gun round here. They will have enough cash to buy up again and even bring out a simple AWP. So yes, Astralis have negated this round, but the problems begin once more as we get into round number 19. It's going to be Edward to save the M4. Zeus looking for a rifle as well. Is there one there? I think there is. He probably knows better than I do. Just the UMP for him for now. As he holds up, Glaive doesn't really have to hunt this. It's not worth giving up his AK. And there it is. First round on the board for Astralis. Going to need a lot more where that came from. I think they have a chance of getting back in this map. It's now 13-5. As mentioned, there is enough to purchase up here. Not quite for the AWP. $100 short of that on Simple's side, but they'll definitely bring out the rifles here. And Astralis cannot afford to be reset at this point. It has to be a round victory for them. Simple's got the spawn, man. He's got that look in his eye as well.
He certainly wants to get aggressive. He's already there. They're heading as well, but he's only got the M4, not the AWP. So he'll hold off on getting aggressive and peeking all the way toward the stairs, because against AKs, his head would come off a little bit quicker than he would remove theirs. In theory, it is simple. He's pretty quick at what he does. I think it's safe when you have him on the server.
Pretty insane stats. Last time Astralis got 5 rounds or less on overpass was in March 2017. That's if they lose 16-5 at this point. I feel like the comeback's on. They are the masters of the comeback. This isn't done by any stretch.
I'm still 27 then. Good God. Electronic.
How is he alive?
He's very lucky to be alive. The AUG scoped in and everything. They still couldn't find a shot. Manages to get down, flashes Simple back out. Quick M4 shot. They now know he's in the connector, but the shadow again favors his position. The flash not deep enough. He's still fine to hold off and try and pre-fire, but Magisk wins the duel. Now a lot of pressure on him. 21 HP. Edward, he'll make up for it by at least getting Dupree. But they know that that's on B, and if the aggression's on A, there's a likely rotation to try and support the man on low health, the man who's already been tagged. So why not counter-rotate? And that's exactly what Astralis looked to do.
Just Edward waiting there. This is going to be a difficult hold. He'll flash and do whatever he can, but it doesn't look good. He's going down here for sure. If he gets one, I'll be impressed, but Glaive takes care of him. I wouldn't even go for this retake if I'm Navi at this point. The money's going to be wrecked. He's now lost Zeus as well. No choice but Electronic and Flamey just to hold on to their rifles. Great stuff from Astralis. Good mid-round call. Reading it very well indeed. If you walk into a bomb site, you've got 4 players up, and there's just one player there, you take him down, no problem. It's definitely over. You can't even consider the retake at that point. Zeus tried it, taken down, and you can't really blame Edward for that one. He had to try and hold a position, get at least a kill, and flashed off. Sent back down to the water, taken down with the wallbang by Glaive. They'll keep 4 players up. We did say Astralis had to avoid the reset there, and they've done that in beautiful fashion. What a shot. Lovely stuff from Device. Finds Electronic. He's going to get this one as well. Not quite. Flamey will survive in the bathrooms, it seems, but 3 Astralis players will as well. There we go. 13-6. Long way to go at this point, but surely there won't be a buy here available. Who will win? You can vote now. We'll see. Right now, I think most of you will be saying Navi in this particular map, but as mentioned, Astralis, it takes a lot more than this to close things out. You have to get a 16 first. Doesn't matter how big your lead is.
It's a John Maddenism, right? The team with the most points will win at the end of the game. While in this case, it's not over until you get to 16.
Absolutely. You might have this huge lead, but it's not done.
No, yeah, and you can't give them an inch. Every mistake that they make, you pretty much have to capitalize, and you yourself making mistakes is opening a door wide open on the CT side because the economy starts to slip away. Great first pick from Simple. Certainly is to the benefit. Oh my goodness, the Flamey gets caught out, gap in the smoke as it was dissolving, and he was unaware that he was going to be so exposed as Magisk got the shot in return. That puts pressure on Pit. Edward thankfully supporting Zeus, who's only on the CZ as such. He wants to get inside of the smoke, but Magisk, he seems to be exactly that. A magician around the smoke, tries to pull the rabbit from the hat to find Zeus as well, but can't do it. It's the CZ to get the kill. But look who's been walking the whole time. If he had the bomb right now, imagine that. Unfortunately, he does not.
That's fantastic work from Zeus there. Lovely, aggressive work, taking attention away from Simple at the same time. But they have no information that Glaive is here. He has smokes, Molotov, and a flashbang. Heads towards heaven at this point. They need to be very aware. I'm not sure Zeus is. Their timing might save him at this point. Glaive will have to show himself and doesn't spot him. That is unbelievable. The timings in CSGO sometime, and Simple, one step ahead, detects the play towards heaven, takes him down. One step closer now, 14-6. Their map pick and the absolute wild card of Cash coming in next. For context, for people who don't follow CS every single week, for the last 3 or 4 years, Navi have vetoed Cash in every best of 3 going. They'd say they played it 4 times a year. I'm going to assume 90% of those were online, through maybe Pro League or something like that. That's a weird veto system online. They do not play this at LAN. Guardian left Navi, saying he never really played a professional level, had to learn the map at that level when he joined FaZe. So that just goes to show you how interesting it is in the map pool.
It certainly brings the mentality of Zeus to question, because he's been the leader for most of that and the majority of this lineup going that far back. So what have they practiced? I think you're going to rely on Simple to just go off the chains.
Yep, and that might be enough.
To be fair, is their strat anyway half the time, right?
That might be enough, you know.
Flash goes over, entry through Monster, 3 players there. And Shotgun's going to try and hold this. He's got a great position to do so, but Dupree takes Flamey. Flashback, he's up close, he's got 1 low HP, can't bolt it in time. Lock it in time, pump it in time. Whatever you do with a shotgun, doesn't seem to matter for Magisk. He'll get Zeus down. Someone let me know on Twitter, I'm sure someone will.
Pump is fine.
Pump the brakes perhaps, because they're going to back out on the Navi side, not even attempt to get the retake underway. 14 now to 7, they'll cut it back in half. Still 2 to go for Navi, so saving these weapons certainly gives them a bit more purchase power down the line, and they can afford to give up a few if they require. And maybe even should do with the money the way that it is, rely on these 2 weapons and not get baited into over-purchasing. It's been back and forth. These last few rounds, 2 in a row for Astralis, 1 for Navi, and this will be now another for Astralis.
Simple will save the orb. Electronic with a rifle. Those are the names that have been topping the scoreboards, taking the heads off the shoulders of Astralis, and it will be enough. I wouldn't even be that scared to force buy around this. Yes, you have a massive lead, and by the Counter-Strike handbook, you should be maybe saving onto your money and keeping that lead strong and not risking anything. You know what, sometimes you've got to throw that rule book away and just say, you know what, Simple's got an orb. Let's see what he can do with it. Let's let him off the leash and see if we can get the 15 as quickly as possible. End this right here, right now. That's exactly what's going to happen. I can see the buys coming in already. Great shots from Dupree and Magisk. This shot secured the round. Zeus, nice spot, but couldn't find the aim. Flamey not feeling it. Got to stay composed. You're against Astralis, who don't flinch like that anymore. The orb is out, the M4 too, and they've justified UMPs and CZs here as they go for the boost towards shore.
This door is such a point of contention when this boost is in effect. Smoke down on short tunnel means that Simple could actually focus on it. In fact, they're even going to bring a 2nd player, a 3rd if you include the man boosting, out toward that construction position. And he can re-smoke that, meaning Simple could actually fix his focus onto that steel door once more. Magisk is not in line with it. Edward hoping that trying to pull that spray through might even bait him into walking into it, but Simple's going to give up on this. They now have to worry about Monster, knowing that it's over toward B. How does Edward win that at that range with a UMP?
I have no idea, but that's ludicrous. He stole that kill away. That shouldn't be going in his favor. Magisk in a 1v1 against a UMP, especially at that range, it should have been his. Edward's done a great job there, but Zeus gives it up in return, and they might commit on that.
Smoke down, Edward there. Cross is over. It's taken out by Dupree. Let's see if the gap was there or not, but perhaps it was. Just not quite been covering all the way to the wall as of yet, as it just bloomed. Nonetheless, Simple, he's still waiting with an AWP in the open, wanting someone to walk in, confident enough in his aim to be that fast. You can see him snapping back and forth to both sides. 3 players up still for Astralis as they get the bomb down. And Simple, desperate to get inside of the site, will work with his teammate, try and trade the angle. His teammate already on the platform. Someone's got to look toward Monster, though. They find the first on Electronic. The other 2 are already on the pillar. It's going to be followed up. Electronic's got another. Dupree, the only one left on Monster, and he doesn't have the angle to the bomb. They can get on top of this. He's got to swing wide. He'll find the first on Simple. Electronic gets the trade. And Simple loves it. Electronic is the man he needs to be the duo.
They took the gamble. The AWP and the M4 saved. If they lost that round, Astralis could be right back in the game. But it's the tag team duo, Simple and Electronic, to close it out. You can see them operating with great synergy there. One watching shot. Electronic, you need to focus on that pillar right now. Device bottles it. He can't find the shot, and Electronic then can focus, close it out. He's got the kit, and it's map point to Navi here on Overpass. 15-7. And the money, it does not look fantastic here. You can see what it means to that man there.
Zipix is still non-existent. He is still nowhere to be seen. that can't happen on overpass. In
No.
the past, he's the man that really makes this map work for Astralis, and only with 6 kills and 18 deaths at this point.
Dupree's got 22. He's playing his heart out here on the grand final stage. His teammates just can't keep up right now. Device, we haven't really mentioned him at all, maybe a few times in the first half, but they haven't stepped up here on the T side. They've had a few scrappy rounds go in their favor. They've been reset each and every time. They now come in with 2 UMPs, 3 AKs, a full array of utility. It's enough, but now 8 rounds in a row have to be perfect here. Overtime isn't affecting the best of 3s, obviously. And we'll see Flamey, this time with a good spawn, using that double orb, trying to find the first pick, but he could be in trouble here. It's Dupree to take down Electronic.
You said it, playing his heart out, finds another kill. Zeus, did he overlook it? Okay, he's actually ducked down, brings the shotgun back
Ridiculous.
out. I thought he was done for. I thought he looked away at exactly the wrong time, perhaps expecting the flash. Dupree trying to be very fast, gets to long, gets caught, gets away with it. 56, he was already tagged too, so no damage done. Zipic's waiting for the bomb, and that shotgun at the bottom of the ladder is going to be a massive problem if he's quick. Simple just got glaive.
Where? That's insane.
That's a long quick smoke.
Well, he's got another one. This guy, he's looking to take us all the way in the grand final. Cash is a question mark, but still, it looks like Navi might have done enough. Zipex and Device left in a 3 versus 2 here. Device has got the B bomb side though, but the bomb all the way in the short
Zipex
pipe.
is slow. He's slow to rotate.
Yep.
He's still in the short pipe, checking back towards spawn. I was going to say, did Edward not see him? I saw it on the overview. He did actually look back that direction. Bomb down. Flamey with it. 16-7. Astralis take down overpass. And what happens now? We go to the most unknown map between these